kickstart with our first session, and it's on business development. And the topic for this session is managing public and private resources for business growth. So I'll give a brief intro about our speaker, and then he will come to deliver his presentation. So he's a Ghanaian businessman and a former military officer who co-founded UT Bank and founded UT Holdings. He's a pioneering figure in Ghana's lending industry, building UT Holdings into a robust company with multiple subsidiaries. All right then, so there's a little bit of a change. So with this session, I would like to call on one of our speakers, and he's in the person of Mr. Olufemi Adeomi. He's into IT, and he is going to be speaking to us on something related to IT. So ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, let's invite Mr. Olufemi upstage to deliver his presentation. Oh, please, let's do it better for him. Let's do it better for him. Let's do it better for him.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. I am honored to be here. My name is Olufemi. I've adopted Holali in the middle, Adewumi, because when I first met Clement, it was at the GDIW, that's the Ghana Digital Innovation Week. I think it was last year or the year before, I don't remember. The year before, I think, and we were standing watching, I think, a picture wall, and we started chatting. He said, "Where are you from?" I said, "I'm Ghanaian," which is my typical introduction. And he laughed and said, "Well, how come your name is Olufemi?" I said, "Well, you probably need to find out." So we've been on and about how I am Ghanaian with a Nigerian name. I work with MEST Africa. At MEST, we train software entrepreneurs. And we have our flagship program, which is a one-year, fully sponsored program where we train people from all over Africa, 60 people every year, on how to build software businesses. I myself have probably about more than 30 years experience in the IT industry, spanning various industries like in finance, in telecoms. My largest experience or biggest has been in telecom sector in Nigeria and then Pan-African before I came to Ghana to work with a bank, working with IBM to support a bank in Ghana. I today want to talk about problems. You probably are wondering what problems have to do with IT. So if you follow me on LinkedIn, I haven't published for a while, but I publish what I call my startup quips. I have published up to 15 of them. They're very short write-ups on something that's creative, that's impacting entrepreneurs or startups. And and I'll just talk about two of them today. I'll use two of them in my talk today. Entrepreneurs are always talking about, or it's typical to hear an entrepreneur being asked, "What problem are you solving?" Or an entrepreneur starts their presentation and say, "My problem statement is this." So we know that entrepreneurs, we're always looking for problems to solve, or solving problems, or discussing problems that we want to solve that we're already solving. But the big question for entrepreneurs also is that, are you solving the right problem? And what makes a right problem or a problem that is not right? So typically we'll find business people, entrepreneurs, going down a particular line that they are very passionate about because they feel this is a problem that I've identified and I want to solve it. And they really try and they're not making, a headway. Nobody wants to buy the product that you've built around the problem. Nobody wants to pay for it. And it's supposed to be a great idea. It sounds great on paper, but when we get into the market, into the field, it seems we're facing headway. And so, again, entrepreneurs are always asking, or should ask, am I really solving the right problem? And the other question that entrepreneurs have, even when you seem to be making a headway, you are, today, this month I sell 500 CDs, next month I sell 560 CDs, and you now say, I'm looking for funding. And when you come to maybe someone like me who has some little experience in investment preparation, investment readiness, I ask you, how big is your problem? So these are the kind of things that we keep asking, around problems. Because when we're asking how big is your problem, we want to know what is the size of that market that you're talking about. Because at the end of the day, a problem that you're solving is supposed to be for some people. Or let me replace that word problem with need. So you are trying to address needs by different people. And those needs, it is expected that either those people or somebody else will pay for those needs to be met. So how big is that need? How big is that problem that you're trying to solve? And this brings me to my first startup quip that is related to what we call problem space analysis. Many of us probably don't know that problem solving is a very scientific process. Yes, there are times when you have a hunch for a business and you go for it and it is successful. But I think from experience, I can say that 19 out of 20 of such hunches fail. And maybe one, you just hit it and it's really, a lot of the time, pure luck. But there are scientific methods and scientific processes for actually exploring problems, exploring solutions. I mean, we call it design thinking or human-centered design, or different names for it. But there are scientific methods, scientific process. So, talking about problem space analysis, I have a quip that says, problems don't stand alone. So usually when an entrepreneur as you've been battling to solve a problem, you spend maybe like 3-4 years trying to solve that problem, and then one day you say, I've been trying to solve this problem in the field of, let's say, medicine. I'm tired, I'm not going to do it. Let me go and try real estate instead. Now, the problem with what you've just done is that you've thrown away 3 years of knowledge, 3 years of insight, 3 years of understanding a space because you're not making headway. But if you look at my method, what I'm trying to say, that problems don't stand alone. It is possible you might find another problem in the same space that is actually profitable. Now, I say problems don't stand alone. They have brothers, they have sisters. Problems have nieces and nephews. They get married and have children. They have in-laws. Now, I hope that catches your attention. Yes, it's true. Problems don't stand alone. And this brings us to the topic of what we call, in problem analysis, called cause and effect. I like Clement used that word. When he used that word, I said yes. He caught on the word. He said, a prof said something about cause and effect. It's the same thing in problem analysis. It's the same thing in life. There are causes and there are effects. Every problem has a cause, and every problem has an effect. Both the causes and the effects are problems. So if you give me a problem and I ask you, what are the causes of that problem? If you give me 3 causes of that problem, those are 3 problems. I also ask you, what are the effects of that problem? If you give me 3 effects of that problem, those are another 3 problems. So suddenly, we thought we had just 1 problem. But with this little analysis, we now have 7 problems. Each one of those problems also have effects. So you can actually spend, based on your 2 years of trying to solve a problem, you think you're not making headway, you can actually take a big piece of paper and begin to digest your knowledge, your insight of the space on paper. Here's the problem I'm trying to solve. What are the causes? And begin to draw, before you know what's happening, you filled an entire big paper with probably about 50, 60 problems that you never knew were included in the space. Now, when you've enumerated all the problems in a space, it does something to you. It gives you a sense of confidence and knowledge and ownership of that space. If somebody were to meet you to ask you to tell me about the problem you're solving, you will speak with a lot more confidence. You have a lot more things to talk about. Suddenly, you are an expert in a space where you thought you did not know anything, simply because you've just taken the time to digest your knowledge, to write out what you really know about that space on paper. Now, so having now seen that actually, while I'm trying to solve one problem in health, in this space, there are actually probably 30 other related problems. This brings us to my next quip. Problems have people. Problems? Okay, so I like playing with paradoxes or statements that play with your mind. I know typically we say people have problems, right? But problems actually do have people. Because for every problem that you take, there are people that are impacted. So this brings us to the topic of stakeholder analysis. Every problem has stakeholders. So when I take a problem, for example, out of my 20 problems, I take one problem, and I say, who are the people impacted or involved in this problem? So let's say it's a problem that has to do with taking children to school, right? I don't know if anybody's in education here or you're building a business around education or transportation, but it's about taking children to school. So who is concerned about taking children to school, for example? A parent will be concerned about taking children to school. The student themselves will be concerned about getting to school. Whoever is taking them to school, say the bus driver, is concerned. Whoever provides the bus service is concerned. The school is concerned. When we talk about the school, the principal is concerned, the teacher is concerned. Whoever is going to pay for the bus, say a banker or an investor, whoever it is involved. Whoever sells buses is involved. You can see, we talked about a simple problem of taking children to school. But suddenly we're seeing that there are many people interested in taking children to school because it impacts them one way or the other. The parent wants to ensure that my child gets to school safely and on time. The principal wants to ensure that when we ring the bell for the first lesson, there are enough students in the class to take the lessons. The teacher, the same. The person who imports buses wants to be sure that there's a market, for the buses I have. The banker wants to be sure that if I invest in that bus seller, I will get my returns back. Now, imagine if you've done this analysis and I say, come and tell me about taking children to school. Imagine the amount of knowledge and insight you'll be presenting. Imagine the confidence you'll be showing. It will be easy for me to say, actually, this person knows what they're doing. You suddenly sound like an expert because you've just taken time to analyze the space. So I'm not going to take too much of time, but remember these two things. Problems don't come or stand alone. They have brothers, they have sisters, they have nieces and nephews, they get married, they have in-laws, they have children. Of course, they have parents because something gave birth to the problem and the problem gave birth to something, right? And problems also have people. I hope I have made some sense this evening, and I'd like to just say thank you very much for this opportunity, and I hand over to our MC. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Olufemi. Please, let's give it up for him. Let's give it up for him. Let's give it up for him. So at this point, we would have a brief musical interlude whilst we prepare for the second session of this event. So if the sound people can hear me. Okay, so I believe most of us are just seated, but I would like to ask, do you know the person seated next to you? You know, in our churches, when the pastor is preaching, he says, tell the person seated next to you, God is good. I believe we all say that. So at this point, I want us to kindly rise up from our seats and then just network, just have a little conversation. You might be sitting with the next billionaire, you know. You might be sitting with the next billionaire. You might be sitting with the next, multi-million-dollar entrepreneur. Still, people are seated. Please stand up and network with people. At least just say hi, hello, what's your name? What do you do? At least let's ginger ourselves for the second session. Okay. Thank you so much for being very cooperative. So I want to welcome all of us once again to the Entrepreneurship, Financial, and Leadership Literacy event. And this is powered by the Clement Ofe Ajiman Initiative in collaboration with the British Council and powered by AI Multimedia. So our next speaker is a dynamic multilingual lawyer with over 13 years of cumulative experience spanning communications, business development and strategy, technology, corporate law, contract management, and event management. So he has academic background in ABA in French and Spanish, and an MSc in International Business from the University of Ghana, a diplôme approfondi de langue française from the Université de Caen in France, an LLB from Gimpa Law School, and a qualifying certificate in law from the Ghana School of Law. So he'll be here to handle the second session of today's event. Ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, let's invite upstage Mr. Albert Texan Esquire. Please, let's give it up for him. Oh, please, if you don't give it up for him, he won't.
Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a privilege to be here and to share a platform with great captains of industry, people that I looked up to growing up. I think among the speakers, I'm the youngest, so I'll try to keep it young. I'm here to step in for Dr. Okain. Unfortunately, he's not going to be here. I'll just give a brief of what I do and go straight to business. I'm the Chief Business Officer for a company called Innovari Limited. Innovari is a management consultancy and technology services company. Our forte is mainly in information security and cybersecurity. So this evening, I'll just mainly be talking about technology and how young entrepreneurs can use technology to develop and to grow their businesses. This was a bit short notice, so I don't have like a full presentation, but I'll do my best to try and make it as interactive as possible. And I would like for you to also help me to make this interactive, okay? Feel free to engage with me, and I'm sure we can do this beautifully together. Personally, I'm a lawyer, and then I work for Innovari, but I also have a small business that I've been running for some time. So I also call myself a small entrepreneur. In this day and age, I think that with the way the world is moving, focusing on just one thing or one source of income for me doesn't work. Okay? I think that especially as young people and what we're seeing in this new generation, If you want to live a good life, you want to do good business and make some good money and be like the likes of Captain, you need to do a little bit more. So I seriously subscribe to such events, and I'm personally very happy to be here. Okay. Now, I'm going to talk about technology and how we can use technology to grow our businesses, but not only in using the technology, because today, technology has come to stay, but there are so many negative aspects of technology. And that is one of the very key areas that I would like to focus on. Okay? What do we have today? Mobile money fraud. Almost every single week, I would get either a call or a text message from somebody telling me, click on this link, or I've sent you some money. And this is going to continue because it is something that the people of today have just found a brilliant way to dupe people, defraud people, because you have also made yourself very vulnerable by being online. Okay? You go online to do business. You put yourself out there. There are people who are also using their talent to find nice ways to defraud you and take money from you. I tell my mom all the time that I don't like to send her mobile money. Who can just guess why I don't like to send my mom mobile money? Just a wild guess. Yes. Yes, please. Exactly. She's more vulnerable when it comes to using the mobile money. Okay? And that is actually how the fraudsters operate. They look out for the more vulnerable people. I feel like if I send my mom mobile money and somebody should call her and say, oh, your son, something, and I need you to send, she's more likely to send that money than if I send you money. Because if somebody calls you to send money, you are going to be very skeptical. Because even that money, before you got it into your pocket, you understand? So for vulnerable people especially, you are always very careful to deal with them when you're going online. But that notwithstanding, you realize that in this day and age, everybody is online. My mom is 76. Every time I go to visit my mom, she's on her phone on TikTok. 76. You can just imagine. And she's always watching this and watching that. And sometimes she's the one coming to give me some solutions that people are preferring because she has seen it on TikTok. Imagine the young ones, like us, like myself. Personally, I'm not on TikTok. It's only by choice. I feel that some of the things are a bit too fast-paced for me, and it might take my time off certain things. I am on other platforms. I just choose not to be on TikTok. I have nothing against TikTok, by the way. Okay? But I'm just trying to let you understand that if a 76-year-old woman is enjoying TikTok so much and is constantly on her phone, she is so vulnerable to any fraudster who wants to get her using that phone. And that is the same for you as entrepreneurs. Because in this day and age, what we are saying is that use technology. It's faster. Before I came here, let me give you a typical example. Before I came here, one of my colleagues just used ChatGPT to come up with an entire budget for an event in 2 minutes. An entire budget, which ideally we would have probably taken a week. Go and ask this person, go and ask this person, go and ask this person. Put everything together, come and do accounts. Let's budget miscellaneous, this, that. 2 minutes, ChatGPT, just by putting in a description. Gone are the days when we started business and even at 3 a.m., you are waking up just to go on site to make sure that whatever you want done is done. In this day and age, you sit in the comfort of your bedroom And by the click of a button, something is done. 2 minutes to draw a budget. That is serious. Okay? People are doing an entire assignment in a minute by just putting a description in. But one of the key things with using AI technology is that, especially for young people, we just like to copy and paste. I see a few people laughing because they've been doing it. When I review any of the work of my colleagues or those who work under me, anytime they bring a document to me to review, I'm not perfect, but maybe because of the nature of my work, I like to scrutinize everything. I would read over and over. I just want to be sure that, And when I read it, I just tell them, this is from ChatGPT. It's not that it's not good. There's the good side of it. We work faster with technology. And in today's world with AI, even faster. But if you're working with technology and all you want to do is copy and paste just because it's fast, it doesn't become your work. You can easily use the AI, get whatever it is you want, but at least take some time to edit, to go through, to ensure that it is speaking to exactly what you want it to speak to. So my colleague did the budget. I saw the budget, and I told him, oh no, this part should be out. We are not doing this, we are not doing this. Because with the description that he put in there, AI expects that he has to do this part, this part, this part. But with what we are going to be doing, those were not necessary. But because he has copied and pasted, he would have edited, but he's just showing me that, oh, Charlie, 2 minutes, AI has done it for me. We are not now going to finance. We're not now going to have a whole, discussion with finance on what should go in, what should come out. So there's the good part. And then there's the bad part. And for young entrepreneurs, I think that is very key for you to also take note of. Okay, the focus should not only be on what technology can do quickly for you, but you need to look at things critically. If you're supposed to do a presentation to, let's say, one of our speakers here, and the night before, a speaker is going to, let's say, invest in your company. The night before, you probably go and chill, come back, put your whatever in AI. AI develops it for you, and you put it before them. Seriously. Just because AI can do it, you just copy, paste, and bring it. No. AI should be able to help you to develop whatever proposal that you want to put before the investor. Fine-tune it to suit what it is that you want to do. Okay? Then you can now put it before the investor. Nothing stops you from using it, but use it right. In the same vein, we're talking about things like phishing. Phishing, P-H-I-S, not F-I-S-H. My boss is here. He's also an IT person, just like, I'm not really an IT person, but I work in IT, and I've worked in IT for so long. These days, I kind of speak the language. And thankfully, I have the other skills as well, which is the legal side. But phishing, where people would send you links, suspicious links. One of the things that I would also like to bring your attention to is paying attention to details. Okay? If you want to be a good entrepreneur, try and pay attention. Everything is not just fast like that. Pay attention to the small details. And one of the things that I am in paying attention to details is phishing. So I can send you a link, okay? And I say, click here to win, let's say, 1,000 Ghana cedis. You're always going to be excited about the 1,000 Ghana cedis. But look at the links. Another example in the same vein is the mobile money guys when they send you those text messages. Sometimes even the spelling should tell you that this is wrong. But we don't pay attention. Spelling, small spellings. And for some reason, they always make those mistakes. They always make those mistakes, but some of us won't pay attention and then quickly, oh, this message is from MTN, or this message is from Telecel or Airtel Tigo. Airtel Tigo will never spell wrong. MTN will never spell wrong because they've checked all of these things. But because we don't pay attention, we're always just too quick to read and, click and do all of those things. All right? So at least if you want to be good, as a good entrepreneur, one of the things I think you should also do is to pay attention to details. So in using your technology, getting some of the things done quickly, try and pay attention to details. Try and pick the things. There's nothing new under the sun. Everything that you are probably thinking about, somebody has done it before. It's just that for modern entrepreneurs, you take what has been done before and you develop it. You do something new to it that has not been done before. Okay? So all the speakers here are great persons, captains of industry. They've done all that they, we look up to them. They are heroes of our time. But whatever they've done in the past, I can tell you that you can even do better. Because in this day and age, things are technology is just here to make it easier for you. What they did in, let's say, 5 years, you could do in a year or sometimes in a month. In a month. Put everything together. What you would have probably needed 10 people to do, today you need one person. And that takes me to the other side of what I want to talk about. In using technology for your business, try and learn about the various tools that you can use to promote your business. Tools, okay? When I talk about tools, ChatGPT, you have it, okay? For the accounting guys, now we have what? QuickBooks, what's the other one? Is it Tally Accounting, okay? So what your grandfathers used to do, 111 cross, 111 cross. You have technology that can do that for you within seconds. So try and learn about various tools that you can use to help develop your business. All right? So many tools out there. So many tools out there. There's even a tool that can help you do a budget quickly. I know that ChatGPT 2 can, but get a more accurate one. All right? So try and learn about tools and learn about all the new technologies that are coming up. I'll be honest with you, in the beginning when ChatGPT came, I was a bit reluctant to use it. I regretted it. So now I'm on it and I'm using it happily because I felt that, they would always copy and paste and bring it to me. But what I would now have to sit down, rack my brains to write out. These young ladies, the Gen Zs, and in my company we have a few Gen Zs with us, so sometimes I'm now rather trying to keep up with them. I'm not that old, but they make me feel so old. They are bringing these things to me in seconds. You say this and they are at it. But again, it is always good to make sure that when these things come, you try and get them to be more meaningful to what you're going to be doing and not just copy and paste them. Okay? Just a second. And then also, I think that as young people, one of the things that we need to take seriously is reading. Okay? This is not technology related. But we need to read. We need to try and read a lot around. Because of the technology, now we don't like to read. Somebody will say, we read everything on our phones. I could be reading something, a text would come, a call would come, this would come, and then it distracts you. But sometimes you just need to put this away a bit and then read a little bit more about what you want to do, people who have done it before, some of the challenges they have. For me, in cybersecurity, the biggest problem we have is people, where I side with Mr. Femi. Femi is short for good. Okay? People. We always think that the problem is the technology. The bigger problem is the people. Let me explain. So, if I want access to your phone, I don't need any big technology to get access to your phone. I just need the people around you to get access to your phone. Or sometimes I just need you. You are the catalyst to help me scam you, rob you, or whatever. If you work in a company, for example, if I want to enter your systems and I come to your company, I don't need to go to your server room. Sometimes I just need to enter the company, have a nice chat with your receptionist. Oh, tell her she's looking beautiful today. She gives me a seat. I just connect my network, your LAN into my laptop. I'm in your system. I'm hacking you. It's the people. It's that engagement. So for us as cybersecurity professionals, one of the very key things that we always talk about is training for the staff that we have in our companies. So training is one of the very key things for us as companies who are working with staff, and even for you staff yourselves. It's also about training, getting trainings for yourself. It is very important to have trainings. So some of these programs that we have attended are trainings that are very important, especially for entrepreneurs like ourselves, because you get to learn something new every day. Okay? You get to learn something new every day. So the more you develop yourselves, obviously, the more you develop your business. We don't have much time, so I know we have another session. I would just leave it here, but I hope I have also been able to impart a few nuggets to you as young entrepreneurs, and I look forward to seeing you in the future do great things. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. And let's give it up for Mr. Albert Texan. Thank you so much for that lovely presentation. So the next session coming up basically has to do with finance, planning, and all that. So I want to ask everybody in this room, how many of us boldly have 1 million Ghana cedis in our bank accounts? Sincerely. I love the laughter that just came. 1 million. Okay, how about 500? New, please. Okay. No one. 150. Oh, okay. Let me just bring it down to the lowest level. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. Nothing in your accounts. Is it the economy? Oh, please, I need the engagement. Is it the economy? No. Okay. So our next speaker is going to be speaking on the topic understanding financial planning and budgeting, managing risk and uncertainty, and building a financial safety network. So he's a Ghanaian, So he's the managing director of EDC Investments Limited, the asset and wealth management arm of the EcoBank Group. He's an author and he's done many numerous things. Without much ado, let's invite Mr. Paul Kofi Mante to deliver the third session for us. Please, let's give it up for him. Let's give it up for him.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, come on. Oh, it's evening, okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me have some energy from you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you. I'm tired. It's a Monday. I've had like 7 meetings, but it is well. So I want to speak to you briefly on all the topics put together on financial planning and financial independence. Permit me to observe all protocols, especially salute to Captain. You know, Captain taught me in the year 2001 at the Ghana Stock Exchange. So to get into our industry, you need to go through some certification to be licensed. And when I went through that program in 2001, he was my lecturer. So, Captain, God bless you. So let's go straight to the point. Okay, Nyamicha works, so I'm good. So financial planning and financial independence. I see my brother also here. He just saw the flyer, Kojo Safosofo, and decided to come. But true story, and I need your full attention. True story, the year 2016, I spoke to a school. They had a retreat at the Pentecost Convention Center. I went to talk to them about financial planning. A teacher followed up who is a mathematics teacher who said that, look, the concept of compound interest looks too interesting to be true. So he came to the office and I built an Excel template where you can see how the interest grows on a quarterly basis. We did that for like 20 years and he left. On the 25th of December 2024, I got a call from the man. He said, I'm calling you on the 25th so you don't forget. I am still teaching. I'm on a salary of 5,500 cedis. But my investment generates interest of 75,000 cedis every month. And I'm telling you a true story. I got a call from a man about 3 weeks ago who said in 2017, the Church of Pentecost had a Pentecost Men's Ministry Conference. And he was there. He came as a teacher, and I talked about Operation 1 million, how to make your first million Ghana cedis. And he didn't have 2,000 cedis. He didn't believe that that was possible. But in the month of May, he crosses 1 million. And we will share some practical stuff here. It's not for everybody. It's for those who will take it serious and take steps. Okay. Let me ask an important question I asked myself the year 2006, and my response to this question changed the way I look at finances to date. And it's a simple question. If you didn't have to work from today, if you lost your job today, how many months, how many years can you live your normal life without salary? One minute, 1 week. Okay, any other? But this is an important question I asked myself the year 2006. When I asked myself this question, I decided to put all our assets together. I'd been married for, I think, 3 or 4 years. All the liabilities together. And then I realized that the liabilities put together were higher than the assets. If we sold all the things we had in the world, it wasn't enough to pay for the loans we had. And then we said, look, we need to clean this up. And we started the journey. By 2008, we had cleaned up. And we had been building on till date. A rich man once said, if you took all the money in the world and divided it equally among everybody, it will soon be back in the same pocket it was before. Let me take it again. A rich man once said, if you took all the money in the world and divided it equally among everybody, it will soon be back in the same pocket it was before. I believe that there are 2 important things you need when it comes to your finances. You need a God factor. You can call it luck. You can call it whatever. Networking, I call it the God factor. But you also need appropriate information. My focus is on the appropriate information this evening. Traditionally, this has been the thinking: get a good education, find a good job with some secure benefit. You work till you are 60, you get a good pension, you go and rest. This thinking belongs to the old school. It doesn't work in the year 2025. In the year 2025, what is the new way of thinking? You got to understand personal financial planning. In fact, money is everybody's business. I got a call from somebody yesterday. This morning, one doctor something who wanted an appointment because he's 63. He works in an organization where they retire 70. But he didn't understand. He thought that he did biology and science, and money wasn't his business. And when he was 63, he realized that money is everybody's business. Everybody must measure money. So you got to manage personal finance. So you are able to do 3 important things. 1, you are able to save. 2, you are able to invest. Savings is deferred consumption. So Madam MC asks, how many of us have 1 million in our account? When you have 1 million in account sitting idle and you are not getting any interest on it, you are saving that money. But it's not enough to save, because with the time, inflation will erode the value of that money. So savings is a good beginning, but you don't end there. Beyond savings, you need to invest. Investment means you commit the money to work for you and generate returns. And the reason why you are doing this is that you want to become financially independent. What does financial independence mean? It simply means you get to that stage where, with or without salary, you can live the life you want to live. It means you get to that stage when we ask you this same question, you can say, for the rest of my life. So, let me break it down. If you need 10,000 Ghana cedis for your desired lifestyle, it means you need 120,000 a year. If you have investment of 1 million Ghana cedis, forget about the 30%. If you are using 18% compounded quarterly, or if you are using 18% on 1 million, that's 180,000 Ghana cedis. If you divided that by 12, your 1 million will give you 15K every month. So you need 10,000, your 1 million gives you 15K every month. And believe you me, all of my young friends and brothers and sisters here, anybody who is not 40 yet, you can by all means make 1 million Ghana before you are 60. And it doesn't matter. You just need to be consistent and follow the things we are discussing today, and you would be fine. Financial independence, financial freedom begins with 2 important beliefs. I will beg to make the session a bit more engaging. I'll call you to respond to some of the things. So these 2 important beliefs, I want us to take it together. Can we rehearse it together? Belief number 1, go. Come on, I need energy from you. Belief number 1, go. And number 2, I believe that this is where you need to start from. You need to be convinced. If you are seated here and you think that there is no hope, you are right, there's no hope. So you need to believe that your financial future is going to be better than today, than the present. And you need to know that you have the power to make that possible. I'll walk you through, because of the time I was given, this is a subject matter, I can speak on this subject matter the whole day. But I'll walk you through 4 simple keys to financial management, financial plan, and financial independence. These 4 keys will focus on making money, retaining money, and then multiplying money. Again, to make the session a bit more engaging, we'll pick the 4 keys together. So key number 1 is take a decision to become financially independent. Can we take it together? So that decision needs to be taken. You can write today's date down and say that I took a decision on this date that I will become financially independent. Because poverty and riches are both based on decisions. If you don't decide to be rich, you will be poor. And the truth is that the lack of money is a major source of stress in our lives and relationships. True of us? Are you here? True of us? Have you... I was going to ask a question. Charlie, if you're a guy here, if you are not careful, somebody will mafia you just like that. Because you don't have a car. I've seen situations people have used papaya fried rice. If you know, you know. And if you don't know, forget about it. Who said money is not important? You see, a lot of people don't like money. You'll be surprised why this auditorium is not full. Because people want quick money. If you say you're having a church service, also forgive me. If you say you are having a church service and you provide some anointing that can multiply money, the place will be full. But life doesn't work that way. Hello? So you need to understand money is important. This life is not all about money, I know. But money must be understood. In fact, almost everything physical can be answered with money. Money will give you the ability to do more things. And more things here means more things. Including more things. Plus more things. Imagine more things. In fact, money does more things. You know, money can reduce your age. You know that? And poverty can fasten your age. You see a captain dancing all over. You think it's what you're mounting a honor. Money will give you access to better healthcare facilities. True of us? Money will give you access to better educational opportunities. True of us? There is a classical story. I don't get tired sharing it. The year 2009, I spoke to some young people in a camp. I spoke on the topic, see you at the top. I really fired them. So I finished. A young lady, teenager, walks to me and says, sir, based on what you have shared with us, I want to be your friend. I said, young woman, I also want to be your friend. And then she goes like, sir, but watch out for me. I'm in secondary school. I'll make 8 A1s. I'm inspired. She made 8 A1s. What do you want to be? I want to be a medical doctor. Bought forms to the university. Admission came. Her name was not on the admission list. We followed up. We were told if she would be a fee-paying student, she would be admitted. But this young lady was the first daughter of a single mother of 4. The mother called me and said, there is no way I can raise that money. That young lady was home when the school reopened. Anybody I knew, I sent her results to the person. Charlie, can you help this daughter for me? I got somebody who said, let her come for a letter to the university. She took the letter to the university and she was given a late admission. As I talk to you today, she's a medical doctor. And you know, anytime I remember that young lady, one statement comes to mind. It is the fact that poverty can make nonsense of intelligence. Poverty, it can, and I am telling you, I understand it. At the point I sold tea by Medina, taxi rank, Randy Pharmacy opposite. Maton bibiada. Maton adiesa. It's just by some luck that I had the opportunity of some good people who got some interest You have to go to school. You come and collect some money. And I had a hard-working, strong mother, because I lost my father in 1984, who said that you will go to school. And I am here today. So I am telling you, poverty, it can destroy lives. Nobody must entertain poverty. If you don't get anything out of the 20 or 30 minutes I will talk to you this afternoon, you must leave this room with an anger against poverty. You get home and you are wild. Put a chair that says poverty. Sit down, let's have a conversation. This nonsense must stop. And money can make marriage and relationship better. True or false? This one, the true is another level. And a lot of it came from the females. Or somebody said even romance without money is annoyance. Every day, I love you, Sakura, I love you, Shinkan. We don't entertain that. Sika kakra, odo kakra, then you hello. I spoke to a church in Tema one time. An elderly woman said, Mr. Manti, yeah, man, we a bear man who nisika, yenti wodase. Odoni yenti asie. Oh, Jesus, I nearly said something. Charlie, if you're a man here, let me tell you and let me warn you, make money. We a bear man who nisika, what do you bear mobile? The man you don't make money, you marry, they have names they call you. So when you hear somebody calling the husband Kojo Papa, Ojam, Opana, the woman is a last killer. The woman can call the husband Opana, the husband doesn't know that is his name. If you're a man, you make money, you sort your wife out, you take care of your woman till they have names they call you. You know it? What did you say? Odo what? Odonu? Odowu? Odogu? That one I haven't heard it before. I know of sweet honey and a full man can be called babe. Tell the person seated by you, go and make money, go and make money, go and make money. Go and make money and let's stop this. For those who believe in the Bible, let me give you one or two scriptures and I'll proceed. Proverbs 22:7. And this scripture, anytime I read it, scares me. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is a servant to the lender. At all levels, personal level, country level, company level, the rich rule over the poor. If you want this one, you can have it. Proverbs 19:7. The poor are shunned by all their relatives. How much more do their friends avoid them? Though the poor pursue them with pleading, they are nowhere to be found. Let me add one more and we'll proceed. If you are familiar with the Bible, Jacob sent his children to Egypt to go look for food. They met their brother Joseph, who was the prime minister, said, go and bring our father. Let me take a scripture in that report. And they told their father Jacob, all the words of Joseph, which he had said unto them. And when he saw the wagons will be the V8. When we go out, look at Captain's Lexus. That's the wagons. The Bible says when their father, the old man, when he saw the wagons which Joseph had sent to carry him, the spirit of Jacob, their father, revived. Sika emoja, wuni sika, ukasa rough. Sangwa mo me, eduani biya eduani here for kasa. One day I saw somebody had written thesis on Facebook. And when I go on social media, my favorite place will be the comment. The person had written, if you fly business class and I fly economy, we'll all get there at the same time. Whether you drive a Mercedes and I drive a Toyota Corolla, we'll all get to our destination safely. So let me go and look at the comments. Let's see the comment. Powerful. Wisdom nugget. I said, look at poor people convention. And here for almost some cry, they are encouraging themselves. Go and make money. I beg you, make money. Money will do two things in your life. One, it's a time redemption tool. You have money, you do things quickly. If you're going to Tamale, you don't need to go by road. A lot of the time, it's poverty that makes you to spend 12 hours on the road. And even going by road, there are options. You can rent a four-wheel, you can go with Awudu Isaka, you can go with VIP. Some of the buses, but I promise it will break down on the way. We know the history. But you can also go by air. Do you understand me? Even the air, there are levels. First class, business class, and private jet. And it's also a mechanism for efficiency. You become more efficient at... Listen to me. At a certain stage in life, having a driver is not a luxury. It's an efficient way of living. I nearly said something, but it can create problems for me. Should I say it? Okay, you said I should say it. If you're a woman you wash by your hands, it's a waste of your life. You see, our life is measured in time. Life is measured in time. Whatever you use your time to do, you are using your life to do. So if you're a woman, you are using 2 hours or 3 hours every Saturday to wash. That is 3 hours of your life that a washing machine can do. It's poverty that is making you use your hand. I said I didn't want to say it. You said I should say it. If you're a man here, when you go and buy a washing machine for your wife, stop that thing. It's not good. 3 things will hinder you from taking off. 1 is procrastination. 2, excuses. And 3 is blame. You need to deal with these 3 self-imposed limitations. Key number 2 is pay yourself and invest or win first. Can we take it together? A lot of us work, we make money, but when we make the money, we only distribute the money. So we make money, you are paid on the 25th or whatever, you get your salary, you start landlord, Ghana Water, ECG, MTN, this and that, Aketuyano, finish. Once it's gone, you ask yourself one important question: what is today's date? And you take encouragement, and this is payday. And payday will come, and you go through that again. I've met people who have worked for 30 years. The money comes and money goes. And when you talk about this, people will say that, oh, you don't understand, the salary is not enough. Let me explain something to you. There is a law called the Parkinson Law. The Parkinson Law explains why most people will retire poor, even after earning substantial income through their working years. The Parkinson Law states that no matter how much people earn, they will always adjust their lifestyle to match their salary. So increase the salary. Those of you who came with Trotsky, I bet you, it's a matter of time. When the salary increase small, you go change your level. Uber, then small, you get some small Corolla. And there's a young man, they start with cars, and you twist and they feel left, right, they are called left, they start from there. And kakra. Somebody lifted me. Not knowing the car is one of those cars that they've moved the steering from one side to the other. And normally the panel where you can control all the windows is on the driver's door. So this one is on the passenger side. So if you need to move all the windows, it's a passenger that must do it. The phone. I think I was in Takwa one time and I asked, how many of you are not investing because your salaries are not enough? Let me see by hand. The whole church. Then I did a follow-up. How many of you believe that if your salary is doubled, now you can have enough to save and invest? Let me see by hand. The whole church. I called 10 people at random. Gave them pieces of paper. Write your current salary for me. Among the 10 of them, the lowest income earner was earning 350 cedis a month. If for some reason this person believes in his mind, the poor mind, that when the 350 goes to 700 is a breakthrough, they can invest. But among the 10 of them, there was one also on a salary of 11,000 Ghana cedis, who also thought that it's not enough. And there is one who was on a salary of 20,000 cedis a month. So the guy earning 20,000 thinks it's not enough. The guy earning 350 cedis thinks it's not enough. No salary is enough until you learn this concept of paying yourself. It doesn't matter how small or how big the salary is. You got to learn to put something away every month for yourself. And I recommend the 10-20-70 principle. If you believe in tithing, pay your tithe of 10%. Why not? You don't believe in tithing, give 10% to society. But I recommend that 70%, 20% minimum of every earning must go into investment. Anybody who can do 20% every month, I give you between 10 and 15 years, you can build enough that can generate returns that can take care of you. Because levels, our appetite and lifestyle also depends on our income level. There are people who 5,000 a month as return is a breakthrough, it's a miracle. And there are people 100,000 a month will not be enough. So you got to learn to pay yourself. Remember, only the wise bite bones out of eggs, and invest all windfall. A windfall is any money you haven't budgeted to receive. You will live your life without it. Never forget that within every income there is food and there is seed. Just like in most fruits, you find food and you find seed. The food is for consumption. The seed is for investment. It's for sowing. It's for planting. It's for your future. And I recommend let the seed be 20% of whatever your income is. And the only way you can do this is you got to watch spending habit. Anytime you are spending money, ask yourself, do I need to spend this? Is it worth it? Watch first time spending. If you haven't done it before, you can spend unnecessarily. Your salary must dictate what you eat, not your appetite. Let me take it again. Your salary, or rather your income, must dictate what you eat, not your appetite. You are going to create problems for me. Don't worry, okay, feel free. Avoid impulse buying as much as possible. Watch the utilities, check the receipt. Whenever you go to the filling stations, you go to the malls, and I've experienced this, I've lost count. The last one was last Thursday. I was going towards the central region. I stopped at the filling station, got a few things. I was with my son, who picked a biscuit and some drinks, and I picked some. And they've written it boldly, insist on receipt. We finished paying, the lady gave us a change, She said, Madam, receipt. And she gave me the receipt. I sat in the car and went through everything. And everything was right. But, you see, when I'm picking things, I am imagining how much I'll pay. And I knew that I'm paying more than what I've picked. And everything was on the receipt. So you know what I did, Captain? I drilled down further. Some of the biscuit my son picked, the price on the receipt was 70-something. I said, it's not possible. You see, but the biscuit, there are grams. 10 grams, 15, 30, 100. She had used the highest gram to do the receipt. When we had picked some small biscuit, it was biscuit needing also. But why are 419? So I went back, Madam. I'm sorry. Your receipt, and I've seen it. There are a number of malls. The price on the shelf is different from the price in the machine. And I've lost count. Oh, we did a promotion. We forgot to change the prices. You have to be wild. When they come, don't give small money chance. Osikeni biya pepe. Don't throw away leftover food. Anytime you throw away leftover food, it is money you are throwing away. Don't borrow to consume. You borrow to do things that bring back money. Don't borrow to go and buy TV. We watch Chelsea and PSG. When you are watching the TV, it's your future you are watching. And your future will also be watching you. Don't borrow for a wedding to marry. It's not wise. Don't borrow to marry. Get the whole family involved if you have a family. Don't be in competition with anybody. I think that will be the final statement on this. Don't be in competition with anybody. Let me repeat. Don't be in competition with anybody. The third time, don't be in competition with anybody. You can't be you can't be on a salary of 2,000. You want to wear Brazilian hair. What are you smoking? And you see, it's this competition. And you were right. For me, managing company, interacting with people, the biggest challenge for an employer is employees' attitude. The worst thing is they can be praying and still be stealing. And it's all because people, they want to show levels. They want to lift their life to a level where they have not reached. Don't be in competition with anybody. Your time will come. There are some salary levels. Go to Bend Down Boutique. You'll be fine. There are some salary levels. There are some shops you don't enter. You are walking in town. The shop is on your left. Where you get this eyes right. You pass and you go. Number 3, create money machines. Can we take it together? Everybody must have machines that create money for you. Let me, because of the time, I'll skip a few things and talk about 3 money machines. Paper asset, properties, real estate. I'll focus on these 2. The first one I want to talk about is paper asset. And when I talk about paper asset, I'm talking about financial asset. Things you put money in and you are given a paper to go home. And the evidence that they've taken your money is paper. It's paper asset. I love paper asset because they are quiet. If you don't tell anybody, nobody knows. Simple things like treasury bills. This one cancelled for now. Fixed deposit, collective investment schemes, mutual funds, unit trusts, equities. These are simple things you can put money and your money works for you. And it generates more money. And it's more, sometimes it's more faithful than even human beings. Because it doesn't know malaria. It doesn't know my mother's uncle's brother's son, daughter's wife is dead. I need 3 days for the funeral. And this is Gen Z. When they are resigning, if you are not careful, they won't even tell you. So, maybe it means that they have resigned. So, invest in paper assets. It's important. Salary is the medicine for managing poverty. It does not cure poverty. It's only a business and investment that will cure poverty. Of course, not all of us can run a business, but everybody can invest. Start investing now. Because if you don't find a way to make your money work for you while you are asleep, you will keep working when you have to sleep. I'll skip real estate for good reasons and talk a little bit about businesses. I took this from Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant. 4 sources of income: employee, self-employed, business owner, investor. The worst among the 4 is employee. There is nothing wrong with being here. But when you are here, you have to think about how you can add either these 2 or one of these 2 here. And the easier one is you can always add investment to employee. So you earn salary, but your money also works for you. Because money itself, money is irrational. Money does not think. Money does not know a good person from a bad person. Money will go to those who go after it. These are some ideas. I'll skip them because of the time and deal with the last key. But think of your income as a table. If the table has only one leg, when the leg breaks, the table will break down. If the table has several sources, several legs, when one leg breaks, it's likely to continue standing. If your salary is your only source of income, you're a step away from poverty. The least you can do is to invest to create additional source of income. Then the last thing I want to share with you is launch Operation 1 million. Can we take it together? Can we take it together? And I want to encourage every young person to target to make your first million Ghana cedis. If you use the interest rate of 18% compounded quarterly, anybody here who can do 5 cedi a day or 150 cedis a month, within 27 years, you cross your million. 300 a month, within 23 years, you cross your million. I will deal with you. You wait. Let me finish. I'll come to you. I heard what you said, yes. 600 cedis a month. Within 19 years, you cross 1 million. My ears are sharp. 3,000 a month. Within 16 years, you cross 1 million. 9,000 cedis a month. Within 11 years, it's here. 1,000 a month. Within 16 years, you cross 1 million. 3,000 a month. Within 11 years, you cross 1 million. 6,000 a month. Within 8 years, you cross 1 million. We can go on and on and on and on. There are people who can do it in 3 years. But everybody will find their level. I was in a church. I asked, how many can do 150 every month? The whole church. 300. Almost everybody. By the time we got to 3,000, one woman. 6,000, the same woman. And I said, Madam, you're a powerful woman. Say, oh, me, I lifted my hand by faith. By faith. But let me address you. When I said 27 years, because you said it, because it's far. Do you know President Kufuor? Jay Kufuor, you know him. You know the election that made him the president of Ghana, the year that the election was held. Do you know the year? Who knows the year? 2000. How many years ago? 25 years. It's man cancer. We yo 1 year 27 years na beba. 1 year what you be mobile be kayenne. I told you didn't listen. Everybody will find their level. And the way this thing works is through the power of compounding. And little by little, the power of compounding, the way it makes you make interest and you don't take the interest would also make you interest. And interest on interest makes interest and your money keeps growing. So you do it little. The good book says dishonest money dwindles away, but he who gathers money little by little makes it grow. So you build up little by little. Look at 100 cedis every month. I'm using 18% compounded quarterly. Within 30 years, it's 1.3 million. 200 cedis every month. Within 20 years, 437,000. Within 30 years, 2.6 million cedis. Look at 500 cedis every month. Within 20 years, 1 million. Within 30 years, 6.5 million cedis. Look at 2,000 cedis every month. Within 20 years, 4.3 million. Within even 15 years, 1.7 million. 30 years, 26 million. But look at 20,000 plus 500 cedis every month. Within 20 years, you're looking at within 30 years, it's 10.4 million. Look at 100,000 plus 2,000 every month. Within 10 years, you've crossed your million. But this is where I want to land. Look at 200 cedis every month, but at 18%. But what we are doing is that every year, we'll grow it by 10%. So we are doing 200 cedis this year. Next year, we'll do 220. The following year, we'll add another 10%. That will be 242. The following year, we'll add another 10%. That will be about 267 or 268 cedis. We'll be doing that. Within 30 years, you're looking at 4.9 million. Look at 500 with the same concept. Within 20 years, 1.8 million. Within 30 years, 12.4 million. Look at 2,000 cedis, the same concept. Within 15 years, 2.7 million. Within 30 years, 49 million. And we can go on and on. Look at 100K plus 2K, the same concept. Within 10 years, 1.4 million. Ladies and gentlemen, 1 million, is it possible or is it not possible? Let me ask, is it possible or is it not possible? We have demystified it. It's not rocket science. I'm telling you, it's nothing difficult. Anybody here, whether you're a teacher, a laborer, or whatever, if you apply your mind to it, you can make your first million. But I promise you, it won't happen overnight. You need time. You need to be consistent. And if you are focused, everybody can make their 1 million. Are we going to make it or will not make it? If you are here, you don't believe you can make your first million, you are right. I was at a program, a man gave testimony. We started a 1 million operation, 1 million. When he hit the 1 million, he came to my office. Said, Charlie, the 1 million, I've hit it. I said, no problem. Change the sign. Take off the Ghana city and put dollar there. And let's target $1 million. He has crossed the $1 million. life is not complicated. Are you with me? So don't complicate it. Let your money work for you, so nobody can threaten you. Don't work for an organization because you are afraid. Work for an organization because you believe in the purpose. And you believe that you are making contribution to the organization and to society and to humanity. Don't let people threaten you with salary. After this, if you do it, when they threaten you, also threaten them. Boss, this is your last warning. If you do this again, I'll resign. Because say, money day, you go feel resign. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those who may want to start the journey, I work with EDC. I'm the managing director of EDC. I will ask the team to put the paper there. You just put your name and your telephone number on it. We'll get somebody to call you and help you with the process to start. David Chilton, the wealthy, those who want to take this knowledge to another level, I almost forgot. I have books behind there. Foundation for Financial Independence has 16 keys. Financial independence is possible at 16 keys. And Operation 1 million is how to make your 1 million. A copy is 100 Ghana cedis. Here, we'll do it for 50 Ghana cedis. I've taken 50% off. So as many as, if you won't read, don't buy. Don't buy. I don't need your money. I need you to read. And when you read, give me feedback. David Chilton, the wealthy Baba, says the best time to plant an oak tree is 20 years ago. And the next best time is now. And I say, you should have started this even at a younger age. But the next best time is now. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Please, let's give it up for Mr. Kofi Mante. Thank you so much. That was a powerful presentation. So as he said earlier, his 3 books are right behind us for a discounted price of a cool 50 cedis. All right, so before we call on our last speaker, I would like to introduce this gentleman to give us a little brief about what he does, and then just encourage us with a word or two. So he is the CEO of Community and Entrepreneurial Development Initiative, CD Ghana, a leading non-profit organization committed to addressing poverty and youth unemployment in Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, he's a social entrepreneur, business advisor, and a founder. Without much ado, let's invite Mr. Kingsley Kweku Pinkra just to give us a speech or two. Please, let's give it up for him. Let's give it up for him.
Thank you very much. Just a brief remark. Standing on the already existing protocol. Indeed, our just recent speaker has said it all, so I'm not going to talk that much. But I'll be touching on just some few things, one or two things, just to keep it brief. Then I'll take a seat. So the very topic which I could say I'm a bonus speaker, because I wasn't part. Today was just meant, I just wanted to be there just to listen to the speaker, so that's why I'm keeping it brief this very evening. So leadership, entrepreneurial leadership, and financial literacy. So I'll just touch on something brief, then I'll take my seat. And I've also pretty been informed that there is going to be a panel discussion. For the sake of our time, I'm still here, so in case of anything, we are still around. And that will be good to help. I think for Captain, I've hosted him in one of my programs before, at JSCCD, Queen's University. So the speakers are really doing amazing, and we have more than great personalities and speakers to as well touch on great things and for us to impact toward this very evening. Okay, so like I said, I'll still be here. So definitely at the point of the panel discussion, I'm pretty much informed there's going to be no faffing this evening, speaking specifics. So whatever challenges which you are facing, we have more than expect someone in IT, those in finance, and our captain is here as well to help. Okay, so just be making all your questions ready for that. So entrepreneurial leadership and financial literacy. So the key point which I'll be touching on has to do with you going with a vision. It can only be possible by you having a vision. Entrepreneurial leadership. You can be a leader in entrepreneurship. And it begins by you having a clear vision. So let's all have a clear vision and it becomes possible. In terms of my field of work, what kept me going has to do with the very vision which I was having. And I could go on and on. If you're having a clear vision, everything is possible. Everything is possible. So let's just have a clear vision, and it will be possible for us to go far. The second thing which I would like to touch on has to do with innovation. Let's innovate, because there are a lot of entrepreneurs out there. And for you to be able to beat competition, there is always a need for you to innovate. Add innovation to whatever that you are doing. I keep telling my students that you shouldn't even be facing competition as an entrepreneur. If you fail in business, you are not smart enough, because there is always an innovation, and that is what makes you different. It makes you different from other people, and you can't even face competition if you are an entrepreneur. And I always differentiate between being a businessman. I saw a business owner when our presenter was making his presentation, a business owner. There is always a difference between being a business owner and being an entrepreneur. You can fail if you're a business owner, but if you're an entrepreneur, hardly must you fail, because there is always a unique value proposition which you always introduce. I've gone far when it comes to my field of work, and personally, I started going global. In terms of my experience, when I started, I wasn't working in Ghana. The first organization that I got a chance to work with was Queen Elizabeth, and I was an advisory mentor for Queen Elizabeth for several years, 3 years, which all those who were being selected globally were being passed through the palace, being given all sort of leadership training, passing through Cambridge University. You are then being matched to us to provide you with this advisory services. I was among the only few being selected globally to lead this front. And I can attest to the fact of all those that we supported within the years. Even in Ghana, only one person who got a chance to win this award, quite unfortunate. For several years, which you were doing great things globally, only one person. One thing we realized was, in terms of your business, most of the things which we're lacking has to do with innovation. And I can say point blank because I've been there. If you have innovation attached to your business, hardly must you fail, because there is a unique value proposition, something which makes you get customers. There is always an existing market for you, and you always beat competition. Still getting the chance, I also got a chance working with President Clinton to Clinton Global Initiative University, also in the United States, also serving as an advisory mentor, supporting businesses. And one thing which you realize, which majority of Africans don't know, way back about a decade ago, was innovation was the talk of town. Ghanaians were just into the buying and selling. And you could see a lot of people, Party A is selling this, he or she is doing well, let me also go into that. Definitely we are going to fail. So as an entrepreneur, always add innovation to what you are doing. I currently serve as the country chair for Queen Elizabeth II Common Trust in Ghana, and we are supporting the youth to make their work possible. Also working with Queen's University in Canada. Our doors are always open. We have a fully funded training opportunity, practical entrepreneurship course, which we'll provide to beneficiaries. I know some of our students are here, keeping it brief here. So we can talk after this program. But I can assure you that you can be a leader which you want to be in entrepreneurship. You can succeed as an entrepreneur. If only you have a clear vision, if only you are going to innovate, and if only you accept to take risks. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Pinkra. So we have a few dignitaries that would like to acknowledge. So the family of our visionary, Mr. Clement Ofei Achaman. So family, can you rise up a bit with a wave? Let's acknowledge you. Let's say hi. Please, let's give it up for them. Let's give it up for them. And then also we have Mr. Ibrahim Issa. He is the president of the Private University Students Association of Ghana. Mr. Ibrahim, is he here? Mr. Ibrahim Issa, thank you so much for coming. Okay. So to our last speaker, he's going to be speaking on the topic, managing public and private resources for business growth. And he is a Ghanaian businessman and former military officer who co-founded UT Bank and founded UT Holdings. He's a pioneering figure in Ghana's lending industry, building UT Holdings into a robust company with multiple subsidiaries. He is the founder of the PK Amwabing Foundation, and he's left a lasting impact on Ghana's financial sector. Please, let's give it up for Captain Prince Kofi Amwabing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and distinguished everybody. So no protocol matter. I must say, I'm very happy to be here, and we have to be thankful to the organizers for putting this together because they want to give back to society. So can we give them a round of applause? And I guess that goes for the MC as well. I've never seen MC saying clap for me before. So let's clap for the MC. I'm not sure about the topic that I'm supposed to talk about because what was sent to me and what was really different. But whatever it is, I'll tell you something which hopefully will leave some, give some impact and leave some impression and not make your coming here this evening useless. So I will talk about entrepreneurship and leadership, and hopefully, following from what Paul did, you guys will think about becoming employers and investing. Of course, I've been introduced a little bit. I got up early because I normally feel the introduction is too long and unnecessary. In any case, they leave the fact that I am in court. That one they don't mention. Another thank you goes to all the former speakers. The good thing about these things is that when I come with the idea of learning. And of course, each of them gave me something new. About myself a little bit, there's one thing that I like to talk about. My grandmother, who is dead now, anytime I come back from town and I was showing off that, I'm a guy, she looks at me and says, I was the ugliest child that she ever found. And she used to call me Obi Mumi for some reason. They say I was ugly, dark, no reaction. I don't cry, I don't weep, I don't do anything. I'm just there. And when you come, I'm looking at you. And they got scared of me. But I went to school without any stop. I mean, class 1 through secondary school. I went to one of the best secondary schools at Sado College, and another best secondary school, St. Peter's School. Then I got to Legon School of Administration, and then I joined the Army. And my life from the Army is captured in the 3 books I've written, which you can ask about. I don't have copies here, but you can find them in EPP and Kingdom Bookshops and things like that. Now, my first lesson in leadership was given to me by my father. The first one one evening after they had had their beer drinking bout, and my father, those days there was no fridge, at least in our areas, no fridge. Nobody had seen a fridge before. And they used to import the hot beer all the way from Abruchi. And my father caught me in the evening siphoning little drops of beer from the empty bottles. And he said, Kofi, what's this about? I said, I'm trying to get some beer. Actually, I was harvesting beer to drink. And he says, but why do you want to drink? I said, because you guys, every evening, that's all you do, and you are happy, and you are shouting. Me too, I want to drink some beer. And I thought he would reprimand me or beat me up. But he called me to the side and said, let them bring a bottle of beer. And he poured about a third or half a glass and gave it to me. I tasted it. He said, is it nice? I said, not quite. Will you drink it? I said, yes. And I drank the beer, and I got drunk, and I felt awful, and I slept. The next day, he called me and said, how was the beer? I said, horrible. How are you feeling? I said, horrible. Will you drink beer again? I said, yes. He said, why would you drink beer again if it's horrible? I said, well, because you guys, it's horrible, but you still drink, so we are going to drink. And my father, instead of coming hard on me, said, okay, you drink beer, but only when I'm around. And I respected that. And because he was there for me and he would let me drink the beer, I came under his complete control because I was truant and I was called Kofi Babone by everybody. But when it came to beer, my father had to be there before I drank it. If he gave it to me, I wouldn't drink. It's a lesson in leadership that I had. It's about caring for people and directing them on what they should do. Then the second one was, I went to school from Bososo to Krantumi School, and I was the only child in class 1 who was wearing sandals. So when I go to the school, after they had dropped me, I will pass my sandals and put it under some plantain groove. Long story short, my mom came one day to the school and saw that I wasn't wearing sandals, and she gave me a beating. And dragged me all the way home. My father came and said, Oheniba, come. Where are the sandals? My mom had not even asked me, just beating. And I said, the sandals is there. He said, where? And I went to the Libra, to the plantain grove, retrieved the sandals. They said, come and sit down. He said, why are you not wearing the sandals in school? I said, because nobody wears it. He said, but it's supposed to protect your foot and everything. I said, yes, I know that. But nobody's wearing it, so I cannot wear it. He said, okay. If everybody starts wearing, will you wear? I said, yes, that one day I'll wear because it's very good. He said, but someone has to start wearing it first. So let me tell you, we force their parents to buy them sandals, and they also wear. And reluctantly, as if I had done something wrong, I wore my sandals. And within 2 weeks, some of the people started wearing sandals. It means that leadership should not be left out. Take it. So long as it's for a good thing, take it and move with it, and you get people gravitating towards you. Now, the other lesson that I got in leadership later on was when I was in the army, and it always sticks with me. So after university, I joined the army, and at the age of 23, I was a commissioned captain of the armed forces. By the way, I was the same rank as Jerry John Rawlins. We were same rank in the army. So if you think I'm a young man, think again. My deep growth. Anyway, so I was posted. And the reason why I'm telling you about this is that the army is where you get proper leadership training. No two ways about it. I'm not saying they are good to lead the country, but in terms of leadership training, it's nowhere better than the army. Because it is where you are trained to the point where you lead your people and establish trust with them to the point where they will follow you into war where they know they can easily die. And you also have confidence in the men you've trained that you know they will cover your back. And in the army training, you, the officer, you are responsible for your subordinate for everything. Everything. What they will eat, their salary, if they are okay, their welfare, their marriage, everything is your responsibility. Now, so my experience there was this. I was 23 years old. I had a sergeant who was 40 years old or something like that. And one day this sergeant came to me and said, "Sir, I have a problem." And I said, "Oh." He was like an uncle, sort of, but I was the officer and he was the other rank. And I said, "What's the problem?" And the soldier said, "Hey, it's women matter. And this woman, my wife, I came home, I caught something small, and then women will talk plenty. Before I realized, my hand hit her cheek, which means he had beaten the woman up." And at 23, I couldn't even handle my girlfriend. And I'm supposed to solve a problem for this 40-year-old man with children. So I went to my boss, who was a major, and I said, "Sir, there's this nonsense about my sergeant and the wife." I said, "Yes, it's your problem. You have to solve it." I said, and how? He said, "Listen, you're an officer. Go and solve it." I said, "Give me an idea." He said, "Well, you can go to the barracks and go and visit the wife." I said, "To say what? That's my auntie in that house." He said, "Listen, young man, that's your responsibility." So I came back and told Sergeant that, "Sergeant, after work, I'm coming to the barracks." And he was happy, and he saluted. I didn't know what the excitement was about. Anyway, before lunch, I went to the barracks, and they showed me the apartment, and I went and knocked on the door, and this woman opened the door. As soon as she saw me in uniform, she went on her knees and begged me and said, "Sir, I'm so sorry that a whole officer, I made you come to the barracks. I'm not going anywhere." Case solved. That's the military way. Now, what I take from that is that when you are leading, you must love and care for the people that you lead. And I tell you, some of the things that I did running UT, we had what we call PK one-on-one. And every year I'll have a meeting, informal meeting with every staff of UT, and they call PK one-on-one. And sometimes I drive from here to Takwa or to Sunyani, and I'll sit with every staff member, and I'm talking to them and asking them about their love life, about their family life, about the schooling of their children, about their career, about anything. And you'll be surprised the kind of things that they will tell me, and I find solutions for them. Now, if you are leading people and you don't show care and love, it's difficult for you to have absolute power and trust in the company. Now, you must be disciplined about it, and because of the limitation of time, I will rush to a few things. I think Paul said it, that your time or your life is the time that you have. I've always preached it. Time defines your life completely. When somebody is dead, it simply means his time is finished. And if you want to run a business, it's very simple. Every human being wants two things, only two. One, because we want to achieve so many things or do so many things with our life, which is our time on earth, everybody wants to save time. Every human being wants to save time. Whether you are aware or not, in your DNA, you want to save time. You see somebody goes into the lift will close, he's pressed maybe 5th floor. He is still pressing the closed door. How many seconds are you going to save? But it's in our DNA. Now, if you see somebody who wants to cross the road, for example, and maybe it's difficult crossing the road, and you stop for them, or they stop for you, either way, immediately they brighten up. But you are probably saving them 3 seconds or 5 seconds to cross the road. But that time saving, they appreciate it. Every human being wants to save time. It doesn't matter that you go to Dubai to go and have a holiday. If you order beer or whiskey and they delay in bringing it, you get mad that they're wasting your time. The second thing human beings want is good feeling, to feel good. That one depends on the individual. But you can generalize a bit. So, for example, somebody walks into a room, you must recognize them if you want them to feel good. Oh, Paul, it's been a long time. It's good. Or they want to be seen as a chief, or they want to be seen with a woman who is a slave queen with big boobs and big behind. That is what makes him feel good. So in doing business, make sure that your service is delivered in the fastest possible time. That is, after you've taken care of the risk and everything, always endeavor to deliver as fast as possible. And make sure that whilst you are delivering a service, you let the people feel good. If you remember, what made UT was alone in 48 hours. People will come to UT, they know that we are harsh in collection, they know that our interest rates are high, but they know that they will get a loan in 48 hours. Therefore, they forget about it. Because you are serving their primary need. So in any business that you are starting, ask yourself, when the idea comes to you, ask yourself, is it going to save them time compared to the service that's being provided here? Is it going to save them time? I say, are you going to be faster than what they are used to? And two, whilst you are at it, you must deliver it in a way where they feel good. Sometimes at UT, I meet a client, I put my hand on their neck, straight into my office, and we sit and we talk about things, about the family and things like that. And if you ask them, say, UT there, mini papa, and they will always come to UT. So two things, save time and give them good feeling. Because the person who is crossing the road, you save them maybe 3-5 seconds, and you also recognize them as human beings who need to be respected. That is why they brighten up. So I'm not giving an example which is far-fetched. Somebody crossing the road needs two things. Save them time and give them recognition, good feeling. Now, in every business, there are 4 critical factors of success. To succeed, there are 4 critical factors which I'll run you through quickly. The first thing is that you should have a good product or service, which is your mission, what you're going to do with it, what you're going to produce. It has to be timely and has to also make people feel good. Now, the second thing is your customers. You must retain the customers and get referrals and grow the customer base, and that will also come from the kind of products you are serving them. The third one is that you have to be profitable. If you are not profitable, the company will die. Now, the thing about, I always want to say about being profitable is that when I was a kid, my mother would be serving, you know those days, you have bowls with fufu all over the place, and then they are dishing the meat. Meanwhile, your fathers, when they take Pyrex and put the good parts, the waist, the thighs, and things like that. So I asked my mother one day, I said, I need the meat to grow. Well, give me the meat to the old man who was finished growing. And my mother said, Nyotoye mea on tobio no wenye bieti. As in, the one who is providing the money for the meal should be satisfied before you get your small part. Now, most people who are working think they have rights and they're thinking about their rights. The mission, the real mission of company is to make profit for the shareholders by doing A, B, C, D. But you don't see that in missions of company. Producing this and doing that. No. To make profit or enhance shareholder value by whatever you want to do, which is your normal mission. But if the shareholder loses the money, the business will die. He will not put his money back again. And to get his money, he must pay you and encourage you and incentivize you and do all those things. But the main vision, remember, you have to work hard as if the company is yours. And talking about that, you know, a lot of people don't know that their first family is the company. They think it's their wife or their husband. It's not true. Take it from me. Your first family is the company you are working with. You wake up, some people are dawn, and rush to the company, and you stay there to about 6, 7 p.m. and go to your house. The best part of your life or your time is spent in the company. And then you go home, children's homework, you can't even have time, and then morning you wake them up, you have to go back. So you are living your life in the company. And therefore, when you are running a company, make sure that the company's environment becomes like a family environment, creating the cultures that will make sure that the people love each other and you caring for them and all those things. That is how you can create a good company. Because already, as Ghanaians and Africans, we are coming with wrong cultures from most people. As previous speakers talked about, they're coming to look for something to steal, and we have all sorts of things. But the way to do it is to create a culture where everybody feels respected, loved, and becomes a family. If you have that, then they tend to check themselves and put the company first. Anytime I talk about this, one thing I want to say is that there was a time when, and we're very open, we go for a meeting Monday, and we talk about all the clients who are not paying and we cannot find them. And one day, we're in the office when our receptionist had met a defaulter in Makola, called the police to arrest the person because he was owing the company that she's working for. That is where you know that you've won the trust of all the people, because it wasn't her business. It was just a receptionist. So how many companies, receptionists, will do something like that? But it's because you need to create a good culture based on good values. Value of integrity and honesty, value of humility, open door policy. You know, I had my telephone number in every reception of UT, which says, if you are dissatisfied, call the CEO on this number. Why? People ask me why I do that. I said, listen, as far as I'm concerned, when I wake up in the morning, I say, I am going to work. All it means to me is that I'm going to be of service to humanity. And if they cannot get me, how do I serve them? And I still don't see any CEOs trying to do that because it's on African, or we think you'll be worried too much. The only problem I had was that people were not calling me. One, they didn't believe it was my number. Two, no CEO would do that, so it must be some customer service somewhere. The few people who called, one of them says, I remember, not Timalova, says, who is speaking? I said, oh, my friend, you called, so why are you asking me who is speaking? He said, no, I'm checking something. Then I said, okay, I'm Captain Amwabe. He said, hey, we are tough, pa. No complaint. And some too will call you at night just to check if it's you. But at least you make yourself open. So, to repeat, you have to create a culture where there's integrity and honesty, there's love for each other. You must also lead by example. If you put a policy in place, you are the first to follow that policy so that you can actually monitor the policy and sanction and make sure that it's working. By the way, one policy that I put at UT, which I regretted later on, was a policy that we called amorous policy. So when we were about 45, some people were doing something in the company, and it was causing problems because there were cliques starting to form. So I called HR and said, listen, this thing must stop. We are creating a family. And a family, if you sleep with each other, is incest. So we will not entertain that here. So we put a policy which we call amorous policy. If you should think you are falling in love with somebody, one of you should resign. Otherwise, if you start it, we'll sack the two of you. It was okay when we were 45, 100, 200. And CEO, certainly I must follow the policy, so I was staying away. But I got to a point, as 2012, we were about 2,500 employees, at least 1,000 girls come and see beauty. And I said, my. But I'm one guy, I can say that I never ever slept with any UT staff. I didn't. It's a matter of discipline. Now, I think I want to end by sharing my philosophy about life, which will sum what I'm trying to say. And I'm sure, Paul, you will like this one since you're a pastor. It's a very funny world that we have because I believe that anything that exists has been created. Who doesn't? Okay, fantastic. Now, which also implies that anything that exists has got a creator. Now, since we are human beings and we are here, we've been created, which means that we have a creator. Now, the only reason why anybody or anything in this system will create something is because the creator is thinking of a use for what he's creating. So the creator has a purpose for what they create. So somebody is creating a phone. Say, I want something which, if you dial number, then it can do something. It may be successful, it may not. But once you are created, it means there's a purpose for your life. Now, what is that purpose? Nobody has given us any script. But we can judge loosely by saying that the purpose is for us to make this world a better place. Otherwise, why would God put us here? Now, what I find interesting is, so we are here to make this world a better place, but see how we come into the world. We come maybe as a sperm fertilizing some egg somewhere inside somebody's body, and then 9 months we are inside there, protected and everything, and then we come out very feeble, and yet we are supposed to make this world a better place. See, we didn't come with anything, and we still have the mandate to make the world a better place. By the way, fast forward, we're also not going to go with anything. I'm sure you all know. We won't go with anything. So it means that we have to impact the world by acquiring worldly things. The things we use to impact the world, we must find it here in our lifetime. And create a positive impact. And when our time is up, we go away. Really, doesn't much to life, really. But it's exciting. So what are the things that we need to acquire in order to make the impact? First and foremost, I say, don't die. Don't die. Because the Creator didn't create you to just die. Second thing, stay healthy. Because if you are not healthy, you can't do much. And in actual fact, you have to depend on people. That is negative impact. Number 3, acquire the right values. Because if you don't have the right values and you're doing wrong things, you are causing negative impact. Right values are love for people, respect for people, you're God-fearing, you're humble, you give time to others, you lift them up if necessary, and so on and so forth. That is the kind of value that you need, and that's the kind of value that goes into leadership and entrepreneurship. Whilst you're at it, number 4, acquire a lot of education, learn. And I'm happy to be here to learn about investment and learn about tech and all those things. Learn. Anything, get expertise, apprenticeship, mentorship to expand your world. And then acquire worldly things like money. Be happy. Spend some money. Spend some good time. Because when you are in high spirits, you certainly want people to be feeling high spirits. Money, properties, whatever. Now the catch here is this. Whilst you are making money, people gravitate towards you and praise you to the hilt, and they put you next to the software here, and then this, and they worship you. So then people tend to think more money, more power is what I need. You don't. The more money, the more power, you have it, but you are supposed to use it to impact the world, not to feel that you are better than other people. But most people, when they've got the power and the money and the material things, they go at a tangent, and they are amassing wealth and believing themselves, and therefore they fail to actually honor the first obligation of coming to the world to impact the world positively. Getting into business is about finding solutions to what is around us. Entrepreneurship is also about actually being there and leading people to create solutions that will make the world a better place. And it's one of the things that I'm sure God will bless us for. On that note, I'll say thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, let's all give it up for Captain Kofi Amwabeng. He's done so well. So our speakers have spoken. You have listened. And I know you have lots of questions bubbling up in your mind. So in no particular order, Mr. Femi, can you please join us upstage? Mr. Texan, please follow. Mr. Mante, please follow. And Captain, please join us upstage. So our speakers are going to kindly take your seats, please. So our speakers are going to listen to your questions. Anything that is bothering you, boggling your mind about entrepreneurship, financial literacy, and leadership. So the microphone is going to go around if there are any questions. Okay.
So, who's going first?
Hello, thank you very much. My name is Fred, and my question is related to financial literacy. We all know that as workers or students, finance should be part of us, so money issues is part of us. And also from our lecture, we heard a lot about it. So my question is, when it comes to finance, what are the processes that goes into it for one to make decisions? I don't know if my question is clear. It goes to the one who gave us a lecture on finance, please. What are the processes that you take into consideration when you want to make a financial decision?
What kind of financial decision? Marriage,
About
investment, buying
please.
a car?
Investment.
Investment, okay. How do you want it done? We'll respond to each.
I think I'll take 3 questions.
Thank you.
Then we come to, okay, let me take the lady at the back, then I'll come here, okay.
Good evening. Thank you very much, speakers. It was an insightful presentation from you all. So my question is that, as Mr. Paul mentioned earlier, he said with time, the Ghana cedi is obviously going to depreciate. So would you advise or would you suggest that instead of 200 cedis every month, we can convert it into other currencies that are higher than the cedis, then invest in those currencies instead of the Ghana cedis? Yeah, that's my question.
Let me take one here.
Thank you. My name is Moses. My first question has to do with the banking sector. Since our pastor is coming from the banking sector, do you think, okay, do you think if you look at the financial environment, do you think you people or you professionals are being fair to we, the entrepreneurs, when it comes to the cost of borrowing? I don't know, the base rate is around 23 or whatever, but people are borrowing around 27, 28. And if you go to the microfinance sector, it's worse. They give it to you at 5% a month. And if we just do it per year, we are talking about 60%. I know a microfinance that is taking up to 12% a month. And so how do we grow? So do you think the financial space is being fair to we, the young entrepreneurs, and what will be the way forward? And then my second question will go to our captain. You know, we say people create your environment, and your environment determines your mindset. Your mindset will also determine your future. Do you think, Ghana, we are creating the right environment? There was a survey that about 7-point-something million Ghanaians are multidimensionally poor. So do you think the way we are going, looking at the state of our economy, the way things are being organized here and there, is the right environment being created for we, the young people? And do you think leadership is the problem? Because if you go to every seminar or every forum like this, our leaders will come, they know all the problems and all the solutions, but yet we are still where we are. And then my last thing is share with us 3 lessons that you have learned in your business world that you want to share with us so that we can avoid the mistakes and capitalize on the positives.
Okay, thank you very much. So one more person here, then I take it over. I think I'll spread the questions so that any of you can take it. One more question. Okay. So be 3.
Okay, my name is Joseph Awoni. So my first question is going for Mr. So during your speech, you mentioned something like if you want to start a business, you identify a problem and then you find possible solution to the problem. So my first question is, I want you to put yourself in my shoes now with 0 Ghana cedis in my account, and I'm able to identify a problem with possible solution, but with no financial support. How are you going to go by it? And the second question goes to, I'm forgetting the name, rather. So the question is, assuming I have started my 1 million Ghana cedis operation, 1 million Ghana cedis journey right now, and with 30 years later, I'm able to get maybe 1 million Ghana cedis in my account. How will you gather the courage to use that 1 million Ghana cedis to start a business with no guarantee that you are going to get your money or the business is going to succeed? Then after that, the second question is please, one more question. The question is, after getting that courage to start a business, what are the possible legal considerations and the legal considerations that you will take into in order for a new business or a growing business? Thank you.
So Mr. Femi, I'll start with you with a 0.
Right, thank you. Thank you very much for that. Hello? Can you hear me? Okay, let's try. So what we have seen practically done, number one, ideas are worthless, right? You can have a great business idea until it is proven and there's traction. Nobody will put their money in it. So you have to create the money or create the investment to make that idea get traction? The first thing is that we talk about into capital. So you will do the work. So sometimes you have to go to the farm if you have land, whatever you have within your possession, to start the business, and then do the extra work. You'll be the accountant, the manager, everything, to ensure that you at least begin to make some traction. Even if you are selling 1 per day, 2 per day, to show that it will work. This is the first thing. Secondly, a lot of entrepreneurs have great ideas, but don't have the money to implement the ideas, but they have skills that they can go and use to work for money. And so they go and work, and then they make money, but instead of spending the money on, enjoyment, they now bring that money and plow back into the idea that they have. So they have a main work that they're doing, but the idea is a side, we call it side gig, that you're investing in and building until it actually begins to show some traction. Either it's generating enough money for you to leave your main business and focus on it, or generating enough traction for you to convince an investor that, yes, this is making money. So this is how to start from zero capital. But really, there's nobody that is at zero capital. There's nobody. Either you have skills, you live in a house, you have family. There's something called friends and family, where you speak, you gather, you sell your idea to your friends, your family, and they contribute small money to you to run your business. You have something in your house. Some when we do what it takes to run a business, you need an office space, but you have a room where you're living. You need electricity, but currently you are staying in a house with your family. Somebody is paying electricity bill. So you really do, it's not zero capital. You do have something to start with, and you can start where you are and start building. Even if you have nothing, you have your skill. Maybe you've done some training. So you go and work and save some of your money and invest in your business. I hope that helps.
If I may add on that. And if I may add on that, I think when I was doing my presentation, I started off by saying, even though I work for a company, I'm a lawyer, I started my own small business too some years back. Now, when you said zero capital, I'm sure you mean when you have no money that you're really investing into this company. I started off without any money at all. One of the skills that I was able to use to even start off with was my negotiation skills. So, for instance, we all know buying and selling. We all know, being the middleman, where you would negotiate here and then you sell it to somebody, or you present that service to another person. That little margin on it becomes your profit then. So these skills are still capital for you that you can use. You start off like that, and then gradually you get to a certain point where that small margin now becomes a big margin. And just like he also mentioned, you have family and friends who are always around you. I think for me, and I always used to say that my biggest loan giver was my dad. He would give you the money. You would write a receipt that you have received this amount of money as support for your business. And then you pay it back, and then he will cancel the receipt. And that was one of the good lessons that my dad also gave me. So personally, I never had to borrow from a bank to do anything regarding my business. But because I had my dad, who was my financier, he didn't give me the money for free. He made sure that I came to him that I wanted the money. I wanted to borrow the money to do my business. So he lent me the money. I use the money, I make my profit, and I bring him back his money. So that another time, whenever I go back, he would be able to give me. And that was good because it was interest-free. If it was a bank or maybe a savings, a loan or something, I would have to pay back with interest. But you have these family persons around you, you have these friends. Not every friend. I'm very reluctant with friends, but at least with my family and people that I can trust around me, it was easier for me to get some of these loans and use them. And when I started from making small 50 CD, 100 CD profits to a point where I could land a deal that was worth about $20,000, and I came to my dad and said, I need some money. I need this much money to invest. This is how much the business is worth. I mean, he was so surprised, but he was also proud of me. I could tell in his eyes. So he actually gave me that money, even though it was quite a big amount of money. He still gave me that money, trusting that I would come back, because when I came for little, I came back with it. So eventually, I made this business deal work. I made my profit, and I brought him back his money. And he always had that trust in me. So you may have no money in your pocket, but trust me, you have so much that you can do. Even your negotiation skills is capital.
The last question, and thanks to the previous speakers, but it's a question that keeps coming up from young people. You don't need money to start a business. You need relationships. You need the right people, and they like a father. But if you were a stubborn child, and your father knows that when they give the money to you, you will chop. He won't give the money to you. So you need a relationship, and I will encourage young people. One of the most important, and Captain talked about values and all that, one of the most important things you need is to be serviceable. Young people don't serve. Whenever they need Captain's number, it's because they need something from you. They are never thinking about what can I do for him. If you learn to serve, opportunities will abound. But sometimes all you need is somebody hold your hands and says, I know this young man, and that is all you need. So learn to serve, learn to build relationships. Be there for other people. Don't be too self-centered. It's about you. You don't attend anybody's funeral. You are not ready to help anybody. I am tired, but I had to be here. Tomorrow I have an interview early morning, but I am here because we are giving back to people. And guess what? Have you been blessed this evening? You know, one day it will happen where I will meet you. I will not remember you. I will need some help, but you will remember me. That, oh, he's a man who spoke to us at British Council. And I've seen it played out. It's like a movie. I've seen the movie over and over and over. Oh, you were in my church. Oh, you did this for me. And people are willing to help you. So I want to, based on your question, I just want to encourage all of us, let's learn to be there for other people. Don't be selfish and you are always thinking about just yourself. Banks and the interest rate, that question is a difficult question. Because when it comes to, my brother, when it comes to interest rate, a number of things come to play. And it's a debate we can go on and on, we will not finish. I am an investment banker. I manage funds for people to generate returns for my investors. When I have to place money with a bank, the first question, as a deposit, not as a, I'm not taking a loan, I'm depositing money with the bank. The first question I will ask is, if I give the money to government, what interest rate will government give to me on 91 day, on 182 day, which until the famous DDEP, we knew that all government securities are risk-free. And we are still comfortable that something went wrong. It was an abnormal thing. So if I am giving money to government, and recently, government treasury bills went up to 35%. If I can give money to government and get 35%, why do you think in my right sense, I'll give that money to you that go and do a business and we don't know if it will succeed or it will not succeed, because it will come with some risk. So if I'll give the money to government and I can get 35%, the only way you can convince me to give that money to you is I'll have to add some risk premium, because I'm taking on some risks. Even with that, I will still ask for the collateral and I will ask for all kinds of things to make sure the money will come back. I think that when the right environment is created, interest rates will drop. And we've seen it before under President Kufuor, when interest, I think 2007 up to 2006 up to 2009, somewhere around that period, where banks were going around asking people if you want a loan, because treasury bill rates came to a single digit. So let the environment be created, and I think the banks will be forced, because if government treasury bill is a single digit, banks will be forced to do other things to generate money, because if you give it to government, you are getting maybe 8%, 7%. You know, so I understand you. It makes it difficult when you have to compete with other companies borrowing from outside the country at 1%, at 5%, and you are borrowing at 40%. You cannot be competitive, and you are most likely to default. And when you default, then the bank's perception of risk even goes up. that Charlie, when you give out the money, it will not come back. So let's increase it makes it difficult for everybody. You are getting me? So let's pray that the right environment will be created. And what happened between 2022 and 2023 never happens again. You can't have inflation at 54%. It erodes the value of money. So let's pray for the right environment to be created, and I believe that interest rates would come down. Somebody asked a question about buying dollar. I will cast that spirit out. You know, I'm not a believer in buying dollars, and it's for two reasons. Reason number one is that I've done the numbers right from 1990. I've done 5-year averages from 1990 to date. And you realize that the return you make on treasury bill is higher than the depreciation of the currency. So the cedi has been depreciating. The cedi may depreciate average of 15%, but you make 20% on the treasury bill. So cedi terms, you still make more than what you are losing. Of course, if you are just keeping the money and not investing, then there is a problem. But you are investing in simple things like treasury bill, you still make more returns than holding just a dollar. So that's the first reason, and there is enough data to back it. But the second reason why I discourage you from doing that is that when we all do that, we create artificial pressure on the dollar. People who don't need dollars are buying dollars. So you buy your $200, you are happy. That Charlie, I bought it at 10. When the thing gets to 15, breakthrough, I'll make 50% and sell it. But what you forget is that by the time the dollar gets to 15, the dress you are wearing, because it's imported, the price has also increased. And food price has also increased because we are doing a lot of importation. So when we put artificial pressure on our currency, and you think that you've bought some dollars, you are safe. You are lying. You are not safe. The pressure, indirectly, the system will take it back from you. So definitely, those who need dollars, let them buy. Those who don't need dollars, I don't encourage you to buy dollars. If at the point you want to add some dollar investment to diversify your portfolio, why not? You can do that. But let's stop this habit of people just buying dollar and holding it. I mean, I have not traveled to any decent country, where you can just walk in and say, I need $10,000, and you buy, and nobody knows what you are going to do with it. Else, it's a national security issue. It's a national, because if you have enough money, you can actually mess up the economy. If you can buy the dollar at any price, move it to 20, I'll buy. Move it to 30, I'll buy. Fuel prices will go through the roof. And it will be chaotic with demonstrations and all that. Thank you. Then the first question, what should you look out for? So look at your goals. Be clear about why you are investing, why you want to put money away, because that will inform you on what exactly you need to invest in. And simple things like, what is your risk tolerance level? Are you an aggressive risk taker, or you're a conservative person? There is always a relationship between risk and returns. Where the return is high, remember that the risk is also potentially high. And think about simple things like, what is your investment horizon? Are you looking at 3 months, 6 months, or you are looking at 15 years towards your retirement? So all these things come into play in helping you make an informed decision. Thank you.
Okay. I think I'll take the question from Moses. Before that, I'll add to what Paul said. The high interest rate is because people don't want to pay their loans back. And they get the connivance or collusion of the judiciary. I had loan recovery in the court, which I couldn't get my money back, even though it was in the court ruled that I can sell the collateral 8 years. Because the lawyers, some of them have mastered the art of not delaying judgment. Now, the banks will have to write off those loans. You know, Bank of Ghana says if they are matured, the loans are due 365 days, they haven't paid, write it off your books. So everything that Paul says is true, but your attitude, the attitude of the Ghanaian borrower, it also causes the interest rates to go up. Because if I know that of the loans I'm giving, 20% of all the loans will not be paid, the banks and the finance houses are aware of that. They should raise the interest rate on those who are paying to make sure they are covered. That's all I'll add to that. Now, you said the environment, what leadership has to do. Well, the problem here is that I'll be blunt about it, we have a way of choosing leadership which I would say cannot give us the kind of leader who can actually change the environment to any degree. Because we have politics, and that dispensation requires that the party should borrow money and seek money at all costs, a lot of it, to be able to win power. Now, and those money they give to us so that we vote for them, and it's necessary that they raise those monies. Now, there's no free money. Nobody who wants to serve you will give you money or borrow money and give to you and come and serve you on top. It defies logic. That money will have to be paid back. If there's interest on it, they have to pay it back. And it's a business, so they have to even make profit on it. Now, if you have leadership created this way, really, really, what can you say? We are at the mercy of the politics and of the environment. That's a hard fact. We can hope and hope and hope, but I think unless we examine how we choose our leaders and it's not as expensive as it is, then we cannot root out what we call corruption and award of contracts and making commissions or whatever. It will never go away because they must pay for the money that they spend coming to power. So when you say the environment should change, yes, I would say that from what I observe and what most people observe now, from the previous government to now, it looks like I had the W, and I asked him, W, what do you think about the government? He said, a better bad. It means it's better small, but it's still very bad, you know. So the environment is going to change, and I also do not accept when people say that we need to change our life before the leaders change. No. It must come from the leadership. It must. There's no other way it's going to come from. We can do our own things in our own companies and things like that, but ultimately for our attitudes and values as a nation, and it can be done by leadership. The leader has the armed forces, has the police, has the prisons, has everything, commander-in-chief, and we can't stop anybody, we can't jail anybody. What kind of country is this? But it's because of the policies that we have. So Moses, bear with God small. In his own time, he will probably show us the way. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Please, can I just add to that two things about interest rates. Now, I'm aware that the MasterCard Foundation is working with some banks to de-risk their lending, and at least about 6-7 banks are able to lend to some classes of people at about 10%. I know Absa Bank, Fidelity Bank, the number of banks, so maybe you just go and find out and see whether you qualify. I know if you're a woman-led business in agriculture, you likely will qualify. If you are into agri-tech or fintech, you also likely will qualify. Second thing, just to add a bit of color to what Captain has said, my brother told a small group of us in the family back just about a week ago a story when he was in national service. My junior brother right now works with Deloitte. Works with Infosys Consulting in the US after working with Deloitte for many years. But he told me an experience of when he was... Yes, okay, sorry. He told me about an experience when he was starting out his national service. Him and a classmate of his went to a broadcasting corporation in Nigeria to ask if they would take them for national service. And they interviewed both of them. The colleague, they both studied electrical engineering. The colleague, right through university, had gone to pick up practical skills, was helping to fix radios, fix amplifiers, build. So he had real practical skills. And my junior brother, like the rest of us, just went, learned electrical engineering the theoretical way. And then when they got to this broadcasting corporation, when the man interviewed them, he said, well, I have problems right now that you can fix. So you wait back. Then you have theory, we'll talk to you later. Right there and then 2 people going for national service, differentiation was made. One got immediate employment, the other was told. So he learned a lesson that day that, look, people have problems. And if you have solutions to solving their problems, you will be, they will listen to you. So this is about creating your own environment, because that's how you started, about creating your own environment. That my brother's friend created his own environment. They're both, this is back in Nigeria. They're both in Nigeria, but the environment affected one person one way, affected the other, same environment, the other person the second way. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Femi. But because of time, if you have any other further questions, you can see our speakers after the event. So currently, we would have the order of photography. And is Mr. Clement Ofeya around? Please kindly join our speakers upstage for a group photo. After him, all organizers, please get ready. And then finally, all of us will join our guests on stage to take the photo. Okay, thank you very much. Can all of us kindly rise and join our guests on stage to take a group photo? Okay, so some of us can fill the front, some of us can stand right in front, so that we all come into the picture. Please, those of us on the edges, kindly fit in, kindly fit in, kindly fit in. All right, thank you all so much. Thank you all so much. You've been very amazing from the start. And I must say, you've all done well by coming and then participating in this event. So we can't wait to see you for the second edition of the Entrepreneurial Leadership and Financial Literacy event. My name is Nodo Harriet. I'm your MC, and thank you all. Our speakers are available, so if you have any other further questions, you can come and speak to them. Thank you all, and be safe.